So I'm up at the west end now at the sort of gatehouse site, and you can see just behind me the old granite stone render sort of gatehouse. Let's just find out who uses that, who lives in that, what it's used for, what its plan is for, because obviously it's an important point into campus. Also interesting to note that with the provision of the new nursery behind me, what the future of this upper end is. As well as the gatehouse, you've got the Gatehouse Design and Print Consultancy, which I'm not sure if that's an in-house design consultancy or just something that's kind of sublet, but again, interesting. Caledonian Hotel across the road, and that sweeping road up there is one of the connections up to the cycleway that comes along the railway line. And then distance there is Gray's building, and also the temporary marquee set up for the end of year show and presentations, etc. So it's an interesting precedent, that. Well, you can see the Gray's School of Art. I suppose that's what you would call the first thing you see in the main entrance. It doesn't really have a notable entrance as it stands, and looks quite tatty, doesn't it? But get the impression that certainly that long facade, it wouldn't take much to make that looking really sort of quite spick and span. Interested to know what happens on that top floor. Just about to go and see Alan Watson. Maybe he might be able to take me up there. I'll ask him. As with city centres anywhere, the old smoking points leave a lot to be desired, but they're a kind of necessity of modern life, but could argue whether you want to make them more attractive than that. You do get the sense down the western side of Gray's is that you're stepping into territory that perhaps you shouldn't be wandering in. I like that staircase. Of course, I'm sure it'll be very busy during term time. Some bleached bones there, it's a bit worrying. Again, deep gorge, a lot of tree felling going on there. Seems to be a watercourse, but seems to be blocking it with cut logs. Interesting. And then suddenly opens out on the overlooking the sort of southern aspect. As I said before, this is the facade that overlooks that aspect. Got a modular construction there built on the back, porter cabin-esque. Well, that's what it is, isn't it? Interesting. If that was taken out, would that open up an internal quadrangle there? I think it probably would. Cut prunings dumped there, obviously great for snakes and toads and hedgehogs and the like, but not sure that that's not just conveniently dumped rather than logically planned. Again, could look into that. And here, well, I think this to me looks like a stepped series of septic tanks, which I think in terms of the kind of, it's just, well, that's exactly what it is. Hadn't occurred to me before where the wastewater was going, but you can see with the soil and vent there and the one over there that the likelihood is that that's just going into a 2-chamber septic tank that's pumped out from time to time, but the residue of the water is going straight into the river. Interesting to know what the long-term strategy for wastewater management is, both foul and surface. So that's just a quick tour around Grays on the eastern side. I think you can see from behind me whatever goes on in that end block, got a great panoramic potential overlooking the space in the same way that the principal's office on Scott Sutherland will have. So in terms of future use, it's an important space.